Hello everyone. It is my great pleasure to bring greetings from Barbados to all of our friends, the representatives of civil society from all across the globe. Let me begin by thanking the members of the Facilitation Committee, ably led by Richard Jones of the Caribbean Policy Development Center, for their work on the program and the agenda for the Civil Society Forum. I am sure that your discussions over the next 3 days will be robust and full of substance, and that your input will enrich the wider negotiations and decisions of UNCTAD 15. Our thanks also go to Chantel Monroe-Knight, the National Lead Organizer, for her guidance, as well as to UNCTAD's Secretariat's focal points in Geneva for their assistance in this entire process. My friends, this is the second time that Barbados has hosted a major United Nations conference. The first, of course, being the Global Conference on the Sustainable Development of Small Island Developing States, which took place in 1994. That conference marked the beginning of a remarkable journey on which we are really still very much embarked. A journey to gain recognition for SIDS as a separate category of states within their own peculiar needs and inherent vulnerabilities, which of course we know are deserving of special attention. Let us remember that small island developing states constitute almost 1/4 of the world's nation states. Our hope for UNCTAD 15, meeting, of course, at this unique and profoundly disruptive moment in time, is that this conference is as catalytic and transformative for the international community as was SIDS 94 for small islands. I mention this history not as a casual reference en passant, but rather to draw attention to the vital strategic role which NGOs, and particularly Caribbean NGOs, played at SIDS 94. These are facts that are unfortunately not sufficiently well known or appreciated. On their own initiative and with little support from international donors, civil society organizations from Barbados and the Caribbean, supported by their global partners, took over our entire community college campus, with permission of course, and set up what they aptly named the Village of Hope. For 2 weeks then, they conducted their forum through workshops, briefings and discussions, examining the issues and challenges associated with the prevailing development models and proposing an alternative action plan. They mounted an exhibition, SUSTEC 94, to promote dozens of ideas and examples of sustainable development for island communities, showcasing indigenous, traditional and innovative approaches and displaying over 250 examples of solutions to worldwide problems. Over 150 NGOs were accredited, over a third of them from small island developing states. My friends, it is fair to say that the Village of Hope created quite a buzz at the conference and was visited not just by delegates, but by thousands of local Barbadians. I remember it only too well. The government of the day paid public tribute to the active participation of civil society in the conference and recognized that its outcomes would be more difficult to sustain if they were not enriched by the contributions of NGOs, and in particular those of small island developing states. The growth in organization and activism of Caribbean NGOs, especially on environmental and sustainable development issues, derives much of its impetus from that critical UN process back in 1994. Today, almost 3 decades later, as Barbados once again undertakes the responsibility of hosting a major UN conference, albeit virtually, we draw inspiration from that past experience, and we look forward once again to the active contribution of civil society organizations to the outcomes of UNCTAD 15. Frankly, there has perhaps never been a more critical time for your voices to be heard. In Barbados, we have long recognized that good ideas do not reside exclusively in the minds of elected representatives, and nor therefore should all decision-making be the purview of the few. At the local level, good governance requires the involvement of all citizens in the process of nation building. We cannot educate our citizens and then treat them as though their opinions do not count. For it is people who must be at the center of truly participatory democracy. And when people act confident in the knowledge that they are both seen and heard, their ability to network, exchange ideas, and share best practices at the national, regional, and international levels is greatly amplified. That is why we take the inclusion of civil society very seriously, and why we welcome your involvement in UNCTAD 15. My country, Barbados, owes much of its political and social stability to the mechanism of our social partnership, which was institutionalized in harsh economic times in the early 1990s. It is a tripartite arrangement where government, the private sector, and the unions consult together to tackle major issues of the day and to agree on strategies and actions that are in the national interest. Less than a year after my government came into office, the social partnership was expanded through the formation of a social justice committee whose membership includes a range of NGOs and community-based organizations. Civil society organizations in Barbados are therefore very much at the table, and through the process, their recommendations and concerns are transmitted to the social partnership, or indeed, when the circumstances require, directly to Cabinet. For 2 weeks leading up to the opening of UNCTAD 15, we will be streaming 5 forums from our production studios in Barbados and in Geneva as official pre-events of the conference. In Barbados, we are filming on a set that recreates a typical Barbadian village with its corner shop and its chattel house. I know that in these times of pain and desperation, it is difficult to think positively of the future. Trust me, I know that. But I ask you, as you meet to dialogue and consult, please try to draw inspiration from these Barbadian symbols of resilience and community and turn your forum into another village of hope. For this, my friends, is the place where we would have had you been here physically. I say to you simply that use this opportunity to advance your ideas and to create those things that we believe need to be able to move the global population and not just the 200 governments or so that exist in this world. I have every confidence that you have it with you, and believe you me, I say to you, the fact that you have not visited this time, do not let the future pass you without coming and spending some time with us. Because, my friends, we so want to be able to give you that warm Barbadian welcome that would have been yours had it not for this pandemic. See you soon, and all the very best in your deliberations. Thank you.